Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
This is a new
everybody.
podcast.
It might have been like demon possessed. It was a fairly large, mutated looking chicken.
We were born in the north, but we grew up in the south.
We learned all of our words from Pennsylvania.
And people are that toboggan, that little toboggan.
Not
there.
a toboggan. Toboggan is a sled. Okay.
0.3 inches, baby.
Dude, I can't take it.
Welcome to this episode. The very last. We have one more midnight special. Is that correct?
Nope.
Very
This is the
last
last one.
episode of season 6 of the podcast.
If you've been here with us a lot, we're very thankful that you've been here. We love you, and we're glad that you're watching. Thank you for getting to the end of season 6 with us.
Yeah, you got a little sniffles.
I have a little cold.
Yeah, you can hear it a little bit in your voice.
I guess we should address it then.
Yeah.
I have a slight cold. This will be the second time we've done this podcast while I have a cold.
Yeah. I
One
don't
was
get
back
colds,
in season
really.
3.
I get like coronavirus and deadly sicknesses, but I don't get colds.
Oh well. I guess cold's better, right?
Yeah.
I haven't had a serious sickness except for colds, man, in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I get colds and season allergies often, kind of. Kenzie's had a cold for like 4 days, and I got a little bit of started yesterday, and now I have a cold today.
Yeah.
It's just the sniffles.
We're, as of recording this, we've talked about this before. We record a little ahead, so we're just coming back from Christmas break, and so we were real busy during Christmas. Even though it's called break, we didn't have a break. It was more Christmas, going about doing things.
Yeah,
you hustle bustle of Christmas. So you guys were just busy around a lot of people. You might have,
and then also,
got something.
But also, as people are watching this, New Year's will have arrived.
Yeah.
So we hope you also
Happy 2021.
Happy 2021. Hey, that's the first time I've said it.
Happy 2021. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Hope your New Year's resolutions go through. You stick to them, and everything goes good for this year.
Yeah. So we kind of talked last week on stuff looking back, a little bit of looking forward. On this podcast, on things related to what we have goals for the future. We've talked a lot about that last week. But then I want to talk this week about what are some things.
So we're just getting right into it.
Why not?
Okay.
You have a story?
Maybe. Just
What?
keep going with I don't have any immediate stories.
Well, then we'll call this a tease.
Okay.
What are some things that humans consider healthy perspectives to have and things to pay attention to in our lives? And so I want to talk with you a little bit about what are those things that we value that the rest of the world also values, but people tend to kind of ignore because it can be a little daunting. You know what I mean? Things like financial goals, things like working out, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Are we talking about our goals for it, or are we just talking about it in general?
I think we'll talk about things that we value, whether we're good at it or not.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll see if the list is too long, if it's not even reasonable for people to keep up with.
Yeah.
With all of the stuff that people say. You want to be a success? Do this in the new year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. We can get into it with a list. Starting back during Sober October this year, we kind of set ourselves up for a goal of getting into some kind of fitness thing.
Yeah.
We've already talked about this. Have we talked about Wyatt coming on to this?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I know we talked about it on the Midnight Special here.
Yeah, we've talked about it
Okay.
here last week.
So when Wyatt will be here the next episode. We're taking a 2-week break.
It's something like two
after
or
this
3
episode,
weeks.
and then Wyatt will be back with us on this podcast after that. But going into January and going into that, we're going to get into some fitness things.
Yeah.
If that be just exercising, sweating during the day, getting in some strength exercise, getting in some cardio, getting into whatever we deem is good exercise, but getting into kind of a routine of doing that every single day, basically.
Just to rewind real quick.
Yeah.
It should be season 7 should start January 26th.
Okay.
And
we'll throw some. You'll be just watch out on our like social media, Instagram, Facebook. We'll be posting some tease things.
Yeah.
For people to see going forward once it starts getting closer.
Yeah, I believe this is the 5th of January. So
yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this year. We're interested to hear if you guys have any New Year's resolutions. What do you think of New Year's resolutions? Do you think they're a good idea?
See, I want to say that it's good to have New Year's resolutions all year to where you're always making New Year's resolutions, but with the spirit of coming off Christmas, everybody's hyped and has that Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
And then going into the new year, something about that, even if you have the mindset of I'm going to do my best all year, something about going into the new year, at least for me, it gives me that hype of wanting to do a New Year's resolution and actually putting myself back on track.
Yeah.
If you get off during Christmas or just being on break and things that have happened in your life, like for me, the coronavirus, I have not worked out. My plan was coming off sober October to work out, to cut back, to give myself about 2 days rest a week, but still work out.
Yeah.
Coming off sober October, which I did that for about a week or two, and then I got coronavirus. Have not worked out since because
Why do you say it like that? Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
That's an old meme, dude.
Yeah.
That's old. Coronavirus. Do you know the difference between coronavirus and COVID-19?
Yes.
What?
It's mutated at this point to become a different virus.
It's not.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
COVID-19, something that started in 2019.
No.
Okay, then enlighten me because there's something you're holding back.
Did I have not told you this before?
Probably not.
Okay, coronavirus is the virus that causes the sickness COVID-19.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're referring to the virus being spread around the world, you shouldn't call it COVID-19. You know what I mean?
So I had COVID-19.
You had COVID-19. The coronavirus gave you COVID-19.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
COVID-19 is the sickness. Coronavirus is the virus.
Yeah, I can see that. But back to what I was saying, because you threw me off, my guy. Because of the sickness, I have been a little bit weak afterwards. I mean, most people who have had it know this. It takes a while, even if you don't have any symptoms and you're not sick anymore, for you to get your strength back. Like, I go through my day and about mid-afternoon, I'm like, I'm tired. I need to go to bed now. And I have been. I've been going to bed at like 9, 8.
Really?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Are you that tired at night?
Yeah.
Why do you think, I mean, is it a normal tired? Like your body's just like, I'm done for today.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and also when I do fall asleep, you know when you're so tired that you just fall asleep and you go into such a deep REM sleep that you start dreaming a lot?
Yes.
You don't always dream,
yes,
but you dream because you're so tired.
Yes.
That's happened to me so much. I've been dreaming a lot.
Tell us about some of your dreams.
I mean, I don't remember them. It's kind of like I wake up, I remember I was dreaming, and then I forget it after like a day, to be honest, because I don't have that routine of like writing my dreams down or anything.
You don't ever retain your dreams?
No, I'm not super into remembering and cycling and stuff.
So you've been dreaming a lot since you had the coronavirus sickness? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Do you sleep through the night?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've been struggling. I haven't gotten sick from that, but I have been struggling with sleep lately.
What do you look at your clock when you wake up? Do you know what time it is that you wake up?
Yeah,
before you say anything, think of the number at the time you always wake up. You have it in your head?
A majority of the time I wake up around this time.
Okay. I bet I know what time it is.
What is it?
Between 1 and 2.
Why do you say that?
Your body has a natural cycle when it sleeps. Between 1 and 2, it has something to do with like how your body restores itself or like gets rid of toxins in your mind and body when you sleep. There's something about 1 or 2 that it kind of switches over, and a lot of people, if it's not doing it properly, that's what will wake them up. Is it between 1 and 2?
Yes, if I wake up in the middle of the night, it is.
Yeah, I don't know the whole science exactly.
Waking up constantly throughout the night, like not staying completely asleep, you know?
I don't know the whole science behind it, but you should look this up. If you wake up in the night, it's usually going to be between 1 and 2, and it means something about how your body's processing and getting yourself good sleep.
That's interesting. But you get good sleep, you just dream a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which dreaming means you're probably getting good sleep.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it means that you're staying kind of surface level in your dream. You're not going down.
Get it? You can only dream and remember the dream when you're in like stage. There's like, I don't want to get into all this. There's a lot to get into.
5 from Inception?
No. There's 3 stages really.
Okay.
That everybody goes into. The first stage is just first very basic level, which is what you're talking about, that most people stay in when they're not dreaming, and you can't really dream in this, or remember your dreams at least, in this stage, because it's very light sleep. Your body doesn't get as much rest during that time.
Yeah.
2 is when I'm pretty sure 2 is when you start dreaming and you are starting to get good sleep, and then 3 is like really deep sleep.
Huh. Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong between 2 and 3, but I know 1. There's 3 stages.
Do you think we'll ever toy with the idea that Inception had of manipulating people's thoughts through realms of sleep?
I don't think. I mean, probably not. I think there's probably a way to trick your body yourself to go into those stages of sleeping, and when you can get yourself into that stage if you like do certain things. I know a lot of people, especially where we are in America, they drink a lot of caffeine, so that keeps them,
as do I.
It keeps them from going into that 3rd stage, which is true sleep, if they drink a lot of caffeine.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I sleep better with caffeine.
It's because your body has this stage of just being adapted to having caffeine, and it kind of has this dull sensation to your body.
But what about when I'm not drinking as much caffeine, I'm waking up constantly through the night?
You're probably in between that stage of like your body's not fully adjusted to not being on caffeine totally, but you have come off caffeine enough to where it's throwing you off a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you have to wait, like, I don't know, like a couple weeks after that, and your body will start getting used to not having any caffeine. Then you'll be able to sleep deeper.
Gotcha. Could I tell a story about us trying to get up a mountain?
You can.
The moral of this story, I'm gonna give you the.
You're gonna come with it as you were trying to do your best, and I was freaking out, and I was acting like a little
cuss.
Yeah, but I'm getting nervous in cars. I'll just throw that out there.
Well, we went to Asheville for a wedding, and it snowed.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Christmas Day, but we went up the day after Christmas. If you don't know, Asheville is kind of a mountainous town area in North Carolina.
It is.
And I thought it would be fun if me, you, and Mackenzie drove up a mountain to see a really cool view of the mountains, especially with the snow.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? There's probably going to be little patches of snow going up the mountain, but we'll be all right. We'll take it slow. We'll be fine. And I'm going to give this to you up front. Don't try to drive up a mountain road where there's snow on it, or probably even a gravel road that's really steep if you don't have a four-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a little eco-friendly Hyundai
Yeah.
Hyundai car. I don't know how to pronounce it quite well.
Hyundai.
Well, it's Kenzie's car.
Yeah.
We took hers. It's good on gas mileage. Get you far for less. But we tried to drive up. It was probably going to be about 10 minutes of driving to get to the top of this really windy, relatively steep hill. You know, about halfway up, I noticed every so often the car would do like a little, and the little light would flash on that tells me like, hey, your terrain's not steady. You know what I mean?
You're drifting.
You're drifting a little. And we were like, all right, it's fine. It's just like moments. It's just little patches. You know, you go through a patch of snow or icy snow, and then you'd hit concrete again, you know, asphalt. We got within 1 minute of the top. 1 minute. And fairly large chunk of snow, but we've done the same amount. And for some reason...
No, this was definitely more.
For some reason, the car just freaking moving sideways, and it won't move. Like, the tires are spinning, but, like, the thing won't move, and it wasn't catching. And I'm like, I've slicked on ice a little before. We've done it 50 times coming up this hill. What's going on now? You know?
Yeah, but now we're higher up on the mountain. No guardrails next to us.
There wasn't any guardrails on next to us, but there's plenty of trees. It would have caught us, probably. Maybe. So pretty much what I had to do is I had to back up down the hill so that we could get back on some asphalt. And I had to do like a 16-point turn, you know, where you just boop, 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 to try to get around so you don't drive off the mountain.
Can you do that again? Okay.
Like a DJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, we never got a chance to see the top. And Joshua and Mackenzie, I was like, we could get up this. I just need to maneuver it differently, the vehicle, and we're almost to the top. We're within 1 minute.
I don't
we can
think
make
we
it.
would have made it.
We pretty much had made it. We probably could have got out of the car and walked up.
If we were going to do anything, that's what we would have done. But
we were so close, but we didn't go. We just drove back down, and it was a ruined plan.
But it was fine.
All right.
That day,
don't drive the two-wheel vehicle.
Vehicle. You okay there?
Up a hill like that.
Yeah.
Because you probably will slide and people in the car will freak out.
Yeah, the only time... I have a little Chevy Spark car myself.
It's really good.
It's a really small car. If you want to know what a Chevy Spark, if you don't know, look it up. It's a really small car. It's basically a smart car, but it has gas. So it's just a step above a smart car, kind of. It's a little bigger than a smart car, but it's pretty small.
Yeah.
And
it resembles a smart car.
A little bit, yeah. But I've tried to drive in the snow with that thing, and it was not happening. Last year, I guess, almost a year ago now, probably.
Yeah.
It snowed. I tried to go into work. I couldn't get out of our driveway. So I just called them, and I was like, can't get out of my driveway. I ain't coming into work.
Looks like I'm done for the day. I guess if that happened to me, I could probably work from home. But that's annoying. Like, why do they build cars in such a way that's a little tiny bit of snow just stops you in your tracks? Literally.
I don't know.
In your tracks. It's very frustrating to me.
You can get things like snow shoes, or it's like a chain you put on your wheels.
Yeah, I know the chain, but still they're made, you know, for vehicles like Jeeps. You put them on Jeeps and you travel in the snow and up the hills and stuff. Why do cars just slide so much? I'm
not sure. But yeah, Do you have anything else you want to talk about besides working out? We didn't get so much into it, but do you want to talk any more about it or go into something else?
Oh, I mean, we can get into the main topic. That's fine with me.
That's not the main topic?
Working out?
Yeah.
Working out's not the main topic?
It's part of the main topic.
That was an example. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things. We've talked about working out so much. Do you think people that listen to us like us talking about working out?
I think they'd like to see us work out. Maybe with our shirts off. That'd be pretty funny.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
With our shirts off? No.
Jiggling around.
No.
Pretty funny.
Okay, let's talk about this. Do you think you ever come off as like a working hothead, workout kind of douchebag kind of guy?
Maybe a little bit.
Why do you think you come across that way?
Because I'm the guy that wears leggings into the gym.
That's your reason?
You know, like a guy wearing leggings and then shorts over top of the leggings.
Yes. So that's the reason you think people might perceive you that way?
Yeah.
The people at the gym? What
Yeah.
about on the podcast? They're never seeing your lower half.
Maybe because I'm setting some goals for myself, and because I won. I was like, I worked out this much and I won, and for
By
some
a
reason,
small bit.
yeah, but I still was pretty confident.
You mean
going
you're
into
talking
it.
about you won Sober October?
Speaking of,
What?
I never got paid for Sober October. I'm gonna call you out right now. I think there was a little bet involved when I said I'd pay $40 if I lost, and you guys were gonna pay $20.
Yeah.
I never got my $20.
Okay.
It's okay. I owe you a little bit of other money, so
Yeah, there's a couple of things you owe me, and you didn't give me a Christmas gift.
yeah,
I got you.
I'm
one.
good. We'll just call it even.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm talking about working out's good because it can motivate some people. But if like that's the topic where you're like, yes, let's talk about working out.
Mhm.
It's the same way people probably perceive watching Joe Rogan or some of these other people talk about like the UFC and fighting, and they don't care about fighting at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, then
It's people you like listening to, and all of a sudden you're like, this is dull.
Do you want to go on to the next topic then?
Well, we don't really have solid topics.
Okay.
The main idea is looking forward. What are the things that humans value that we as humans become good at? So, like relationships, like having friends and doing family correctly and managing money, that kind of stuff.
For a new year? Is that what you're talking about?
Kind of, because this is what's on people's minds. You know what I mean? For the new year, people are thinking, hey, I got to get this part of my life in order, or this part, I have to do better in this, or I'm setting a goal here. And I want to lay out all these things and then look at the list and then say, is this too much for a person to handle? Like society standards of what people should be good at, is this too much for people to handle? Like, can you really only pick a couple things off this list to do reasonably? You know?
I mean, it really depends. I think you do have to prioritize certain things. And yeah, I think to an extent, yes, I would agree with that. But most people don't prioritize enough stuff to say they don't have enough time to do it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think we should start with creating a list of the things that people value. So as I already said, one big one is money. So
Yep.
how do you define managing money
How do I define managing
in a
money?
successful way?
Are we really going to get into all this? Because I feel like this could be a big topic.
We've talked about money in the past. Give a real quick synopsis. We do this every...
Of what I do with my money?
No. What you think proper money management is on a base level,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be what you do well or what you don't do or what you do. It can be just how do you define managing money well?
I think managing money well is knowing how to distribute your money in a way so if anything comes up, you can have the money if needed, but it doesn't always have to be just kind of cash in your bank account or just cash that you have just sitting there in case you need it, if that makes sense.
Okay. So just have an emergency fund available to you whenever you need it.
Yeah.
That's how you define good money management?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
No, but it would be, I could go into it. I can just briefly, do you think I should briefly just say what I do a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not really a secret because I'm not giving any
just say
personal.
This is a
really.
podcast. This isn't like a 3-minute video.
Okay. So for me, I follow a little bit of the Dave, the good old Dave.
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. Yeah.
Yes.
So he talks about having, at first he talks about having $1,000 emergency fund for sure.
Yeah.
And then you pay off all your debt, and then after that you get 6 months to a year worth of income.
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
46 months.
4 to 6 months of income in case you lose your job and you need to have a little bit of pool in,
or anything that's a little more pricey that comes into your life unexpectedly.
Yeah. And then after that, you kind of save money for expenses that you know are going to come in your life. Depends on where you are in your life. If you're going to buy a house, you save money for like a down payment on a house. You save money for if you're married, if you're planning on having kids, for your kids going to college, something like that. Or like a more expensive things that you know is going to come up in your life.
Yeah. Also, once you have no debt, you start putting 15% of your money from your paycheck into Roth IRAs and 401ks, putting money aside that's going to grow over years.
Yeah. This year, I will pleased to say...
You are pleased to say?
I am pleased to say.
You are pleased to say.
I am pleased to say. I am pleased.
You're
and I'm going to say this.
Say it.
I'm past the stage of getting out of debt, so I'm kind of in between the stage of having 4 to 6 months of money and also just saving money in general.
Yeah.
So this year being quarantined, a lot of people did this, not just us, and we talked about this on one episode, Midnight Special, when we first started, or not Midnight Special, Midnight Special.
Okay.
When we first started dabbling in a little bit of stonks.
Stonks.
Yeah.
Is that making fun of my nose?
No, just stonks. Stocks. Investing in the stock market a little bit. I think this year I learned that investing in a little bit of stocks, if doing it in a wise and smart way, doesn't have to be a hard thing. It can be very easy, and
you just kind of chill and watch.
Yeah. I do think you should definitely have some money set aside that's like cash for emergencies, just in case something happens, that you don't invest all your extra cash in stocks. That's not wise. But if you have a little bit of extra money sitting around, you can invest and it'll grow and you can make some money from it.
Yeah. So if someone was to say, okay, so this gets down to kind of the societal expectations or even expectations that me and you would put on someone else. If someone was to get $10,000, what are the first 3 things that you're going to advise them to make sure in their life they're using that money wisely? What are you going to ask them? What kind of information do you need?
Put back a couple $1,000s for emergencies.
Okay.
How's your debt right now? Do you own your car? Where's your living situation? Do you own a house? Are you paying rent on a house?
Yeah.
You in an apartment? Where's your living right now?
Yeah.
If it's something basic like car that has a couple $1,000s to pay off on it, pay that off. Get it chunked out. If you have any credit card debt, which I don't have any credit card debt, or I didn't at the time, get that knocked out so they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you have a little bit extra money, then you can start thinking about investing some of it so you can grow it, so it's not just sitting there.
Yeah. Okay, so where are you going to put it so it grows? How's your debt? And put some aside for emergencies.
Mhm.
That's solid advice. I can't say I would do any differently. So that's one thing, money.
Mhm.
But then there's also the fact that people struggle with managing money, even in that simple way.
Mhm.
They could put back $1,000, but all of a sudden when it comes to let's address your debt, let's address the fact that you rely on credit cards all the time, that's going to be a point of contention, and it takes so much to get past that idea. The idea of feeling the need to grow your credit score boggles my mind. As I get older and older, I'm thinking like, why do we need a credit score? Like when I was younger, I
Can I
thought...
ask you a pretty personal question? I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you want to say that. How's your credit?
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't checked it?
Nope, I don't care about it.
Okay. I check it on a regular basis, to be honest.
My credit
see,
has
and
not ever... I haven't never had a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
I don't borrow money for anything.
It's probably just at nothing, to be
It
honest.
might not exist, and I'm okay with that. The thing is, we go through
How's
life...
Kenzie's? Oh, I guess
It's
you
probably
should probably
pretty
have
okay.
heard
I don't
her
know.
say. I don't know.
Yeah, we should probably should.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't ask that.
The thing
that
is, though,
her-
we go through
her,
life
you know.
thinking that a credit score is so important, and for some things, yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Like, if you want to rent a car, that might be important.
Mhm.
But also, almost, if you have a debit card with enough money in there, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know? The thing is, there's a lot of things that you could just go through life and not even worry about it. So we're living by this social norm of a credit score, and it's so ridiculous. I don't even care what my credit score is because I've never been hindered of doing what I want because I don't have credit that possibly even exists or no credit at all.
I think that to an extent, I want to have some pushback a little bit from that, though.
All right.
At this point in your life, we aren't making like the hundreds of thousands of dollars because we're still young.
Yes.
Let's say 5 to 10 years down the road,
Mhm.
you're gonna buy a house. You think that's part of your life? You're gonna buy a house.
Probably.
Let's say you go and you don't really have any credit then because you've just been living the way you have.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's gonna be a problem?
I do not think so because you can go. There are mortgage companies out there. Not like the mainstream ones, probably not Rocket Mortgage, you know what I mean? But there are so many mortgage companies out there that do, I think it's called underwriting, and basically is they don't check your credit score, they check your history of on-time payments. And that's how they do loans, which I have a huge history of paying rent for the past 4 years, going on 5 on time. Paying cell phone bills, electric bills. I have all of this documented.
Did you know, this is kind of getting into some stuff, to have internet here at this apartment, because we live at the same apartment complex, not in the same apartment, but apartment complex, we have the same internet. Do you know to have internet, they check your credit score?
Yep. I don't think it really matters. I think they check it and say,
Yeah.
all right, there it is. I think they just look at it and say, we did it. I don't think it actually matters for anything.
It probably does.
They do the
if
same
it's
thing
bad,
for the. They do the same
if
thing
it's
for the
bad,
phones,
but
though.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things I think that gives you a bad credit score is, and I don't really. The thing is, no one really even understands it entirely. How you gain credit very well. All they know is that you get a credit card, you use it to pay things, and then you pay it back. You know, you have to have a little bit of debt, and you get a good credit score. You get a bad credit score if things go unpaid too long.
Mm-hmm.
If you're never borrowing money, then your credit score is not really going down. It's just also not going up. So, and I've heard that if it goes away after a certain period of time, like if you go multiple years without ever adding or doing anything to it,
Yeah,
it just
I think
goes
it's
away.
about like 5 years though.
Yeah, but a lot of people, you'd rather have no credit score than a bad credit score. And if you jump in the game and you're not ready to manage money to pay things, then you're just messing with your own life.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. Never mind.
Okay. but essentially people struggle financially. So that's a big one. We can agree, especially the issue of debt and borrowing money and how to manage it correctly and be wise. We're going to look towards, our freaking Jedi Master, Dave Ramsey.
Jedi Master.
And we're going to say, hey,
what
you have a lot of answers. I'm going to go on the path you've laid out because it makes sense.
You think Dave Ramsey is like a Mace Windu or like a...
Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, he's like a Mace Windu. He knows stuff.
I was going to say like a Yoda.
Oh, no, he's not. He's too young to be a Yoda.
Too young? Dave Ramsey's getting up there, my guy.
He's too young to be a Yoda, dog. You're talking about like an old person? Who's like a well-known, really old person? I don't know. Who's really old? Okay, you know who's like a Yoda? Freaking Clint Eastwood.
No,
You're talking about someone who's old that's still in the public eye?
He's dead.
No, Clint didn't die.
I'm pretty sure Clint Eastwood died last year.
No, he didn't die.
Okay, if I get this wrong, I feel bad that Clint Eastwood is still around.
It's okay. A lot of people thought that, who was that dude that everyone thought was dead for a long time? Oh, Robin Williams. A lot of people thought he was dead constantly until he actually was. You see anything? Hey, Siri. When did Clint Eastwood die?
Clint Eastwood was born the 31st of May, 1930 and is 90 years old.
He's 90 years old. He's not dead.
Okay, he's not dead. Someone told me he was dead.
Yeah, a lot of people said that Robin Williams was dead for a long time, constantly, over and over again, and then he actually did die.
You know, I'm going to call somebody out. You know who told me that he was dead?
Who said?
Jackson.
Jackson? Really?
Yeah.
Jackson? Like what the heck, man?
Last time I saw him.
What the heck,
he's told me
dude?
that.
Clint Eastwood is alive and well. He's 90 years old. He's the Master Yoda.
He just made the movie. Oh, it's been a couple years now. Yeah, Mule. But it's been a couple years. But that was the last movie he did.
Yeah, it was. He's probably planning on working on another one. But yeah, Clint Eastwood, man.
So Dave Ramsey.
So Dave Ramsey's probably definitely more like a Mace Windu. He's not like he's not gonna be a Yoda. He's not like Clint.
Okay.
But yeah, he's I would say Dave Ramsey's got things together. But let's move on. What's another societal norm that people probably struggle with, but also some people might be thinking, hey, this is on my list of stuff I need to get right this year, you know?
We got the money. We got the physical health.
We've talked a little bit about physical health, yes.
We didn't really talk about mental health.
Let's talk about, since we talk about exercising a lot, we don't have to address it a lot, but let's dive into the idea of just healthy living. So eating a healthy diet, losing weight, you know?
I was going to say we can kind of add on to mental health, which is
That's a separate thing.
Let's
keep mental health and physical health separate.
Okay.
So physical health, yeah.
What do you want to say about it?
So obviously, probably losing weight is like the number one thing that people start a year saying, I'm going to do it, you know, and then they don't get very far in because they have cravings and they want to eat their comfort food.
This is something that I've learned over the past couple of years, getting into more physical health, physical exercise, even before Sober October, that people don't realize.
Okay.
The way to lose weight is to eat, and eat consistently throughout the day a lot. It seems weird to say eat a lot, but you have to watch how much a lot you eat. And I think this is your problem a little bit. You go and skip a bunch of meals, and then you go and eat one meal that is a decent amount, so you're only hitting the same amount of calories, but you're doing it in one meal. You need to space that stuff out throughout the day more. Why you disagree?
I don't think we should get on here and try to say, this is how you do it.
Okay, no, this is
because people,
how I do it.
The diets change of what you should do, every year, and everybody's body type is different, so it's going to react differently.
Okay.
So we should stay away from saying this is how you do it,
Is that why I do it?
or this is what's
Can I say
wrong.
that? Can I say that?
Yeah, you can
Is
say
that why I
this
do
is
it?
how you do it, for sure.
Come to realize, during Sober October, I was eating... I wasn't counting calories, but I know it was a lot of food.
Yeah.
A lot of healthy food, though. Nothing like pizza, nothing fried, nothing... Mostly whole foods
Yep.
that were healthy.
Okay. And so you feel as though you gained from that?
I lost weight from eating a lot of food.
You gained health?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to roughly go through what I ate on an
Nah,
average day? I probably did on a previous podcast.
No, we don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Let's just address the fact that physical health and losing weight is a societal norm for what people are thinking about. So we got money, we got exercise, health and losing weight, mental health. There's a lot of ways to go through becoming mentally healthy. There are steps, common everyday practices you can do. The big one is that you got to figure out how to get yourself sleeping through the night, and I take that one very seriously. So that's why when I have like 3 days I'm not sleeping well, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, why the crap am I not sleeping well?
We can tack onto this with sleeping good, having a good balanced lifestyle, being that work, play, sleep, those main things.
Yeah, but you think that contributes to mental health?
Yeah, in a way. I don't think that's the only thing that can help mental health, but I just think that's something that we should practice in our lives, having good, balanced life with working and then also having time to take off too.
Yeah. So you said work, play, sleep. When does learning come into that?
I kind of throw that into work a little bit. What?
Okay.
So work.
When does going
work
out and having
slash
a Wendy's burger come into that? Is that play?
play? Yeah, that's play. Play, relax.
What about when you go out and on a date? Is that work or play?
That's play.
So all relationships are play. Well, relationships
No.
are work.
I mean, it depends on the relationship. You can have a work relationship with someone, but that's work. But then they can also be a friend that you
Play with. Yeah, we were both thinking it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you're saying
I just kind of, I don't know. I just generally say have a good balanced lifestyle with those aspects of your life. They could mean a whole bunch of different things.
okay. Do you think? Okay, so let's list it off. We got money. We got exercise, physical health, mental health. Now you've added to it a good balance
Of all these things.
out of these things. So if you're finding yourself like playing more than you're working, you're not making good money,
Yep.
you're not learning stuff, then maybe you're doing this. Or here's a big one: sleeping too much. Probably sleeping not enough is a serious issue. Sleeping too much is a serious issue also, because you're bordering on laziness. You don't need, I don't care who you are, man. People roughly need between 5 to 8 hours of sleep. But if you're like,
Unless you have
I got to
COVID.
get my solid 13 hours a day in.
Unless you have COVID.
Yeah, maybe. But that's excessive, dude. There's so much life to be lived. You don't need to be getting up. If you get up like past 11 on a regular basis and you're not working night shift, man, like if you go to work, or maybe you don't go to work at all. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you sleep too much. You can't make your shift. So yeah, that's a good point. You got to balance out your life between the fun things, the hard things, and sleeping things.
I'm going to look at my list because I wrote out a small list.
One.
It wasn't huge.
2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we have 5 things so far that we're trying to keep track of. That's a good. The next thing is relationships, I think. A lot of people, especially in the year of the coronavirus spreading throughout the world, people are thinking about other people a lot.
Yeah.
So let's just lump close friends and family together, because when you become an adult, you tend to see your friends as especially if you grew up with them, as close as your family. You know what I mean?
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent. Your immediate family is a special relationship. But also, once you've gone through so much life with other people...
I think, well, at least, let me clarify this. At least for us right now, even though you're married and you have this dynamic because you are married, but you're still... You've been married for a couple years now. But
2.
You don't have any kids or anything like that.
Yes.
So you almost...
I'm going to be a strange dad.
You almost operate, and I'm saying this kind of loosely, as like single to early 20s, if that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Being that like
Ugh.
for holidays, you have a group of friends over rather than like have a family, you know? That's what I mean by that.
But I was with family the whole time.
Oh, for Christmas, but what about
Thanksgiving?
year?
It was me and Mackenzie stuck in the house.
No, but what about this year at Easter?
We didn't do anything for Easter. What did we do for
I made
Easter?
some bomb mac and cheese.
Oh, you came over?
Mm-hmm.
Were
Made
there
some friends.
other people over?
Mhm.
Well, I don't remember those things.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm operating that way. Like, just me? I'm just operating that way?
No.
I'm out here. You're basically saying I'm out here acting like I'm not married and just going through life.
Your wife was there, but I'm saying Mackenzie was there. I'm just saying, like, you don't have kids, so that's kind of you're throwing off my point. I don't know where I'm going with this now.
So you think kids create in you a certain level of seriousness that you're like,
No,
and now
no.
we're a family
No.
because we
What
have
was
a
the
child.
point of this? I'm totally lost.
I was
now.
talking about balancing relationships, and then I was saying
No,
we're going to
oh,
lump
yes.
those together because close friends and immediate family become like your family. So it's a similar dynamic.
That's where I was going with this. It's like spending holidays with other friends
Yes.
rather than just having like a close knit family, like having, because you don't have any kids, you spend time with friends. Does that make sense? What I was going for? Maybe
I think
not.
so. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
I hope that makes sense. Probably not.
Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying. Does what I'm saying make sense though?
Yes.
Are you gonna allow it?
Yeah.
Okay. So relationships in the close bond kind of relationships. If people have those, or maybe they're tearing a little, then maybe in the new year that people feel the need to restore them on some level, to bring a certain strength back to them. They're like, this year, I'm going to hang out with my friend every week, or I'm going to hang out with my friend every month. You know what I mean? I'm going to see my parents every single evening. I don't know. So,
A lot.
or I'm going to go hang out with my siblings like every day. It just depends on the person. And so that's another level of things that people are like, yeah, that's important. Like, that sounds like you should be working on those things. But a lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I'm good at it either. That's something that people say. From a logical standpoint, it's a good thing to work on. What's another thing to work on? There's a lot of stuff. You can get down to the nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Get into career life.
Giving.
Financially.
Time.
Just being generous.
Mhm.
Being a generous person. Saying, hey,
In 2021, I'm going to be a more generous person.
I'm going to give my time. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to go give to charities. I'm going to freaking, if a homeless guy asks me for money, I'm going to hand it to him. If
You're going to hand it to him, then
somebody I knows, has a car repair that they need done, I'm going to pay for that repair. You know, they could kind of think these things. I'm going to tip like nobody's business this year. You know what I mean? People can think these things. They want to become a more generous person. That's a good one. It's a good one. What about getting into career? They want to become better at what they do. They want
Better at what they do, maybe.
if they don't do
someone
something, maybe they want to find something.
Yeah, maybe someone that's like has an office job, they'll get promoted this year.
Yeah, get a raise.
For someone who has like an office job, maybe they get promoted this year.
Yeah, or they get a raise. Maybe they decide, hey, I'm good at this one thing, but I'm going to learn these 2 other things this year that's going to raise my personal value. It's going to lead to me getting paid better or getting a different position in the same company or starting your own business. Maybe it's picking up a hobby. Maybe it's like, I'm going to take a hobby and turn it into a side hustle craft. You know what I mean? Yeah. What are other norms that people look to improve themselves with as a human?
Learning new skills. You kind of said that, didn't you?
Yeah, but just skills in general. Like, I'm going to learn a language.
Yeah.
You know?
You going to learn a language in 2021?
No.
So you're flat out saying no?
Oh, I'm going to invent a language in 2020.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to learn an existing language.
That's going to be hard to do. Without knowing languages? You're gonna
well, I'm crafting it in my own way.
Okay.
What's another thing? Maybe as I talk, you think these through because we're trying to lay out as many as we can and see if it's possible. Maybe if someone's single, maybe they're trying to date more people that will lead to a person that they can be a partner with. That's a lot of pressure. Maybe you're trying to save up for something. Well, we already talked about money, but maybe like you have a specific goal in mind and you're
with
like,
money?
Maybe you're going to buy that ring, dog.
Are you trying to point at something? You said single?
Nope.
Find someone?
I'm trying to get in the mindset of people that what they think about at the starting of a year. Maybe for some people, it's like, I'm gonna get insurance for the first time. Like I'm gonna have renter's insurance and I'm gonna have health insurance and I'm gonna take advantage of my company's package, even if it is a crappy package. You know, maybe that's what they do. Serious health problems. Maybe they recovered from something and they're like, this year, or maybe they know they have to address something. And they're going to have to go through a surgery to get it fixed.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a pretty heavy one. It's kind of scary. Maybe they want to go on more trips.
Ooh.
Maybe they want to see the world.
2020 has hindered that, but I bet there's going to be a lot of people wanting to do that in 2021 because of everything that was hindered in 2020.
Okay, so what if someone even said, I just want to go on 3 relatively big trips, probably big enough that I have to fly to them, you know?
Ooh, never been on a plane. Maybe I should do that this year.
That's crazy. You should definitely do that this year.
I could get on a plane and then jump out of a plane at the same time.
You're going to get up in the plane for the first time and you're going to be like, oh my gosh. You don't even know what it's to expect when you're in this air like that. Your feet have never left the ground.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, if you climb up on a tower and do a little jump.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
No.
What have you done that's kind of flying like?
I go on lift cars, things that lift you pretty high in the air. That's not
a zip line.
I did.
Isn't that crazy how much like you have to find some mechanism to keep you from falling? Yeah. If you want to get up off the ground. Gravity's a real cuss, isn't it?
You know why that is?
Why? Gravity?
No, because you don't have any happy thoughts.
Well, I have happy thoughts. I'm a little short on fairy dust, if you know what I'm saying. I don't got no fairy dust.
I can give you some of that. I'm kidding.
That's gross, Joshua.
No, I didn't mean anything like that.
I was taking it.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
what are some other things that people might be really struggling with or worried about accomplishing this year? We got money, we got working out, eating healthy, mental health, traveling, maybe having to do a surgery, maybe saving up for something. What are some other things we talked about? Girlfriend, boyfriend.
I think we should just
serious
generalize, because I put this on my small list. I mean, we basically covered my list, but something that we didn't talk about is just doing things that maybe scare you, or having the courage, getting yourself the courage to be afraid, but still doing something.
Yeah.
With it being whatever that scares you.
Yeah. Just growing in courage.
Yeah.
And facing your
not
fears.
Not being the cowardly lion anymore.
Yes, not being a lion.
Lions are cool.
But cowardly's okay.
No. Yeah. It's okay to be cowardly if you push through the cowardness and
cowardness?
Cowardlessness.
Cowardlessness?
Yeah. And get that heart.
Get the heart? That's Tin Man.
And then sometimes when you do
bones.
that, you will
sometimes you need bones.
Get a brain also.
That's so weird. You ever think like he was like, I want a brain, but he could like talk. Why didn't he ask for bones? He couldn't even stay on his feet. He's got to have Dorothy supporting him the whole time. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Ask for some bones, Scarecrow.
I think
you need freaking bones, not a brain.
I think there was like a correlation between all three of them, and each wanting something different that kind of, I don't know how it ties, but it's like one wanted a mind, one wanted courage, one wanted a heart. So like I think
courage is not a physical thing, but a heart and a brain is.
Yeah, I think the writer, whoever created that story, I don't know who that is, but I know people are probably yelling at me for saying I don't know who that is.
You gotta know.
But
you gotta know.
I think there's probably a correlation between the three and her finding those three people on her journey to get back home. I think that's
like she needed those herself.
Something like that, yeah.
And so she created these characters in her mind.
Yeah.
That represented her need for those things. Mm-hmm. That's pretty okay writing. It's pretty all right.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper than you think.
It's a lot deeper.
Did you ever think that was a deep story?
I did. I just couldn't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, then, we've analyzed a bunch of things that are kind of on people's mind. I'm sure there's hundreds of other things. But, looking at that list, do you think, like, someone could... Is it too many things? Like, can someone tackle all of that? Or do they have to do it in steps? And even if they did do it in steps, would those things slip away from their fingers? Like, if they said... This year I'm going to be healthy and I'm going to become rich. I don't know. And then they achieve that. Then the next year, they're like, I'm going to work on my relationships and I'm going to spend, I don't know, I'm going to go on trips. All of a sudden, they're eating foods they've never eaten before. They're drinking drinks they've never drunk before. They're spending money they had last year. Now all of a sudden they've fallen out on the healthy and the freaking wealth building.
This is my thought on that.
Uh-huh.
So first I want to say a couple of those things can be tied in together, like doing something that scares you. That could be starting your own business. So we could tackle those two all at the same time. So it doesn't have to be as many things. But then also on top of that, I think as humans and as we grow, I mean, for everybody it's different, and what age that they get to these things, it's kind of different for the individual. But I think in life we kind of go through things with stages, in a way. There's a time when we can figure out and just kind of goof off and maybe travel the world and experience that part of our life. Mm-hmm. Then we come back and we say, okay, we experienced all these things. I'm going to take what I learned from that of just having fun and doing what I want, come back and start a business, tackle that part and get some knowledge while I'm doing it. And then you'll fix your financial situation and you will
fix it
maybe.
Like you're saying there's a period for destruction and there's a period for fixing.
Maybe.
No, I think it always should be in the pursuit of fix.
Yeah. Yes. That's more
You should
That's a
always
better
be in
way
the
to-
pursuit of fixing.
But I feel like there is a stage, kind of. Would you agree with that a little bit?
I think with certain categories, yeah. Like definitely like what you're saying, a traveling period of time is not going to correspond well with starting a business.
Yeah.
Because unless your business involves traveling. And it's also might not correspond well with, like working on relationships unless all of the people that you're close to are coming with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're traveling a lot, you might be spending the majority of your time that you can travel not visiting friends and family, or hanging out with them, but rather going on a trip by yourself.
Yeah.
So there are things that's hard to work on at the same time, and so yeah, I would agree with that. There's some of them that don't go together completely, but I would say, yeah, I agree with that. But do you think like there's only a couple, like out of the long list we created, should like people only pick like 3 or 2 or even 1 or 5?
Maybe. I think pick the best ones that you can work on this year, best suiting you, because everybody's different. Everybody is in a different stage of their life, depending how old they are, depending on where they are at.
Yeah.
Age doesn't determine where you're at in your life with your job or with your mental health or physical health or anything. So just pick the ones that you feel will be best suited for you this year. Work on those. Maybe as
You're
many as
getting
you can.
dangerously close to giving advice. Do you feel qualified to give advice?
A little bit. Not like take it in stride, but a little bit of advice
Okay.
from my experience.
I feel confident enough to throw ideas out.
Yeah. I think I can give advice, but it's from my experience, the advice,
Yeah.
and it might apply to you, and it might not. And you should take it in stride because that
You keep saying take it in stride. Is that a new word for you?
No.
You've said it like 4 or 5 times in the past couple minutes.
I've said this word a lot. We say this word all the time on the podcast.
No, I've never heard you use, or I've definitely never used take it in stride.
Okay, well, as a synopsis to end this season off,
Season 6, the season of the devil.
to say goodbye to season 6, and
You think we'll have a season 666? That's a lot of seasons.
it depends. We do like 1 episode seasons.
Yeah. We're trying to get to season 666.
It depends. If it's under 5,000 episodes, then yeah. If not, then no.
What?
5,000 episodes. We're only going
Yeah.
to the 5,000.
We're going to 5,000 episodes. If we don't have, how many subscribers?
5,000.
If we don't have 1,000 subscribers by the time we hit 5,000 episodes, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
We're throwing our fists down.
Ooh, speaking of, I guess we can talk about this off the podcast. This guy,
Don't
Can I,
blue ball people?
Iraq, that we've been talking about, he got to 1 million.
Oh, he made it?
Mm-hmm. And he left the island. He stayed on the island till then.
Do you think they're all bots at the end because he didn't want to stay?
Mm.
And he didn't want to
a
look
lot
like a
of
fool?
he got a lot of just individual people to support him to throw out their links, and then he had a lot of creators advertise like on their social media and stuff for people to go back to his channel.
It's interesting.
This is kind of random for people who don't know for the podcast. Can I
just some YouTuber
was
that's
trying to
like,
get to 1 million?
Yeah,
in
tried
1
to get to
year.
1 million in a year, and he made it with a couple days to spare.
So can we get to 1,000 this year?
No,
2021?
the only thing I care about is getting to 1,000 before we hit 5,000 episodes.
Okay, then that's our goal.
That's our goal. Yeah.
To sign off on season 6, I want to say, figure out what's going on with Pluto.
Figure it out.
Because I don't know. There's something weird going on with that planet.
Friggin' snip, snap kind of situation going on with Pluto.
Figure out Pluto. Figure out what you want for 2021. And try to go for it. But also, something that will make your life better in 2021.
What?
Subscribing to this channel.
Well, we'll bring you entertainment every week.
So that'll make your life better in 2021.
You'll get to see some clips, and
you'll get to see some new faces.
Yes, you'll get to see new faces, a lot of new faces, and then also you will get to see our new setup. We might have it looking a little slightly different.
We're gonna have some new hairdos, maybe some new face do's. Maybe we'll grow some facial hair.
I'm gonna shave me down to nothing.
Maybe we will.
I'm gonna look like a happy shaved Santa. I'm gonna be like,
yeah. You'll probably see more clothes than white and black t-shirts.
Or you might not. Maybe we'll continue.
Can't guarantee on that, but yes. And then we're also going to...
You're giving people a lot of stuff.
You know what we need to end this podcast off? We got a little bit more time. I thought we had something we had to eat.
Oh, yeah.
We have something we got to eat to end this episode off.
I guess I was going to do it at the beginning of next season, but I guess we can do it at the end of
this is
season.
To end it off.
Let me go get it. Hold on.
So this is something that we got over Christmas break that we are going to be eating to end this off. I almost forgot. It's a good thing I remembered. So, can I introduce what it is, I guess? I don't know if you can hear. We are going to eat a little snack, a little crunchy snack. And it is... He's coming back. Hurry up, my guy. Little crunchy snack. No, we're not going to do the bacon thing.
Crickets. I want to try the bacon.
Crickets. Okay, but it's probably not going to be on air.
We got whole roasted crickets, Texas barbecue style.
I'm not a barbecue guy. Even barbecue chips.
Well, it's okay. We're eating crickets.
There's
a lot of them.
Even like my pulled pork. I love pulled pork. I don't put barbecue on it.
Let's try this first, just so we.
No,
make it interesting.
Don't we need to make it into a liquid?
What is it? Hey y'all, try that. Ron, bacon, hot chocolate. Oh, this is chocolate.
Yeah, you put it in water.
I can't have this then.
You put it in water.
That sounds.
So we're just gonna do the crickets.
I didn't even fully read that. How strange.
So, to end this off,
we're gonna eat some crickets.
Before let's kind of sign this off, and then we'll eat the crickets, and then just kind of end with our reactions.
Okay.
How about that?
Hey, thank you so much for sticking with us or joining us this season and all past seasons you've been around.
Is
Subscribe
this
to
for
us.
Humans, or is this
yes,
like
this is that's good. We're so very thankful that you listen to us talk. We're going to keep talking. We're not going to stop talking. We're going to talk until there's no one here that wants to listen to us talk. So
we're just two brothers, and maybe next season will be two brothers, and
a
actually it's always
brother.
been two brothers, even if
maybe we should change this name to Two Brothers.
Wise Works Podcast. Two brothers.
Subscribe to us. Comment. Let us know your favorite moments this past season, or your favorite podcast episode.
Yeah. Go watch them while we're on break.
Go rewatch the next couple weeks where we don't have anything coming out, and subscribe to Olin Rogers. Do that also.
Subscribe to Olin Rogers and figure out what's going on with Pluto. Okay,
let's figure out what's going on with Pluto.
So we are going to...
Hold on, let's try to show them to the camera.
These are clearly crickets.
Oh, hold on.
They smell like corn nuts, to be honest.
I'm going to see if I can insert this little video.
Smell
I'm going to do
like
a little
corn
close-up
nuts.
video with my phone.
I'm actually excited because I like corn nuts. These smell good.
They do kind of smell like corn nuts. I keep hitting the wrong app. I'm trying to pull up my video.
See, the thing for me, what makes bugs scary to eat is the juiciness of them. Okay. And these don't look very juicy. I think they're dried out. So I'm not very nervous to eat these.
So I got a good solid close-up I'm recording with.
I definitely can see eyeballs.
Hold yours out. Oh, man. This is going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's do this. Or I'm just going to do the whole handful. See,
Go ahead.
Are you going to do it with me?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
I like them. See, when you roast crickets,
they
just kind of taste like nuts.
I'll go back for more.
They kind of taste like airy nuts, like a Cheeto, like a tiny little Cheeto.
70 calories there. Wait, whoa.
What?
70 calories per bug. It says 1 bug.
That's not true.
That's what it says. Serving size is 1 bug. And it's...
1 bag. Read it.
Oh.
Hey, thanks, guys. We love you. We're going to sit here and keep eating crickets. Come back for next season. Bye.
We should just keep going back for more. Like you're hungry.